Hello everyone. So in the last video we have started the code and the simulation of the digital input with pull down circuit. So where the initial state of the circuit was pin is ground or zero and or low, and when the button is pushed or pressed, when the push button is pressed, the status is going to high or 1 or plus 5 voltage, right? So this is the code. What we did is we read the value and we serial printed the value. Sorry guys. And we have even seen the correct values are coming in the serial monitor window. When I press the button it was 1, when I release the button it was 0. When I keep pressing the button the value was 1, right? So now what we will do is, before that I will quickly check this out whether it works or not. So let me check the code. Okay, let's remove the code guys quickly, and I will paste the code that we had have a look on the last video. Okay, so yep. Okay, so it's totally fine, right? So the same circuit in the last video. So if you are not clear with the circuit, just go watch the last video and come back here, otherwise it will not make a single sense. Okay guys, so now let's do the simulation. Sorry guys, so now it's 0 because this initial state is coming from ground, and pin number 2 is 0, right? So I am going to press the button, so I will do a quick zoom. Okay, let me push the button and you see it is 1. I am keeping now, still I didn't release the mouse, that means I still keep pressing. Okay, when I remove it will become 0. So let me remove the button, release the button. I released. Now I click, I release, click, release, click, release. Okay, when I click 1, when I release 0, when I keep clicking 1, when I release 0, keep remove. Okay, so this we have seen. So what we will do is today we will quickly make a small if condition, if else condition, and check whether it works or not. So what we will do is, this is the code we have. I have explained the code in the last video. So if you don't understand, you have to go watch the previous video and come back here. Okay, that is fine. So now what we will do is, we read the serial value, digital input value, and we assign it to an integer called x, and now I serial print the integer x value, right? So that is how we saw that values in the serial monitor, and we have a small delay of 100 milliseconds, so we don't care about that. Just for changing the delays, since it is too fast running, to make it little slow, I made that delay, right? I kept the delay for that purpose only. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write an if condition. With that if condition, I'm going to check the status of the input value x. Okay, because we have only zeros and ones for x, right? We have only either 0 or 1, right? So what I want to do is, if the x value is 0, I'm going to print a text. Okay, maybe it is 0. When maybe switch is not pressed. So when I press the switch, let's say then the value is 1, I'm going to say switch is pressed. Okay, why? Because we have seen when the switch is pressed it is 1, and when the switch is not pressed it is 0. Initial state, also the state where the switch is not pressed. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. So let me quickly do it. So I will write an if condition, and you know how to do it, right? And I will write if, okay, x is equal to which one? 0, 1, 0. Okay guys, I will open and close curly bracket, and I will serial print ln. So I will remove the normal serial print ln of x. I don't want this to happen. Nothing wrong even if I have it, but anyway I will remove it. Okay, and I will say serial print ln. So 0 means what? Switch is not pressed. Okay, so I will say switch is not pressed. Okay, so else, I will write an else condition. So we know we have only two scenarios. Sorry guys, only zeros and 1. So let me have since my circuit also perfect, so we have only two possibilities. We don't have the possibility of undefined, because if we don't do anything it is in 0. Okay, that means we don't press the switch. If you do something, it is obviously go to 1, right? So I will have an else part. So else means there is only the second possibility will be 1, not 0, right? Not anything else. So it is 0 or 1, right? So if the if condition takes the 0 condition, then obviously the else will be 1. There is no other possibilities. Can there be 2? Can there be undefined? No, because we have created a circuit that will only give two possibilities, only 0 or 1. Okay, so the else part will obviously contain the value 1? Yes or no? Obviously 1. Only if the value is 1, else part will work. Otherwise, obviously the value will be 0. So if part will work. Okay, so that is why I didn't write a condition check here like else if or something. No, I write a simple else because I clearly know if this value is not 0, then the only possibility is 1. Okay, so 1 means what? When you press the switch, it is 1. When you release the switch, it is 0. That's all. That is how our circuit is. Okay, that is how our circuit is. Okay, now I will say, okay, let's say switch is pressed now. Switch is pressed. Okay, so if you want it to be a little bit different, so let's have a hey. Sorry guys, hey switch is pressed. Okay, so that's all about the code. We don't have to do anything else. Let's have a small 100 millisecond delay. That will not hopefully make a much difference. Excuse me guys, because your pressing time is normally more than 100 milliseconds, so this delay will not make a difference normally. But if you want, I can remove this also. That will not be a problem. So let's remove it for the moment. Okay, that's fine. So the code is very simple, right? We read the value and we have an if else condition to check the value and do something, right? So in the next iteration, again we will read the value, and with the updated value we will again validate the if else conditions. That's all, right? So I'll quickly verify it and see whether it is compiling or not. So this is just a command, right? So since we have studied enough if else conditions, I hope this will not be a problem to you, right? By any way, like coding wise, this will not be a problem to you, I hope, because you know the if else conditions very well now. If you have issues, you have to watch my previous videos and come back here. All good guys? So let me copy this while it is being compiled. Okay, done compiling. That means it has no issues, the code. Okay, so I'll go here. I will remove the code and I will paste my new code. Okay, and I will clear the serial monitor and I am going to do a simulation. Okay, so it's initializing still. Okay, you see it is saying what? Switch is not pressed, switch is not pressed, switch is not pressed. Why? Because X is 0, X is ground. Why? At the initial state it is ground, right? 0. That is what I explained. See, it says switch is not pressed. Totally cool, right? Because I didn't press the switch yet. See, I didn't press the switch yet. So what will happen if I press the switch? Let me press it. Okay, I have pressed the switch. See, hey, switch is pressed. So you might have seen once I press a switch, it takes a little time to show switch is pressed. It is, I think, because of the simulation environment delays, because it is a simulation environment. It is not the real environment. This was programmed. So maybe due to that delays, it took a little time. But when you are creating the circuit with the real switch and real push button and the real resistors and real Arduino, you will find at the very moment you press the switch, the text is changing. So now it is saying, hey, switch is pressed, because I am still keep pressing. I didn't remove my hand. Now let me remove my hand. Okay, switch is not pressed. So there's a small delay response. Just don't worry, it is because of the internet or because of the simulation environment or whatever, because it is not the real environment. So it takes time to find the responses. Okay, so now I have removed it. It says switch is not pressed. So think you are keeping the whole circuit, the Arduino and the button and the resistor and everything, in somewhere else in another room, and you are in another room with the serial monitor where the Arduino is connected through a wire to your computer. So you are looking at the computer. So you can simply monitor whether someone is pressing the switch or not, because you are displaying the values. So switch is not pressed. So let's say in your room somebody is pressing the button. Okay, I am pressing it. See, now you can see in your serial monitor, hey, switch is pressed. You see, you can find out, right? Very simple. So let's say that guy is now releasing his hand, and again you are getting alert. Okay, switch is not pressed. So you can simply monitor it. Okay, so all you need is some knowledge in the digital read scenarios and some knowledge in how you can create the digital read circuits. So this is digital input pull down circuit. So anyway, some knowledge in creating this kind of circuit and some knowledge in the if else condition code. That's all, right? So I hope guys this is very simple and easy to understand. I didn't explain this flow because in the last that circuit connection flow like 0 0 0 voltage where plus 5 voltages are where, like that, because in the last two videos I have explained it too much enough. So you can go and watch them if it is unclear. So for this video I think this is very clear to you. So just follow me up in the next video guys. Until then, stay safe and consider subscribing us.